Hi Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm Susan, your intuitive, and before we get into your tarot reading and all the astrology, I just want to wish you a happy birthday. Happy birthday to all the Leos out there, and before we even start the reading, I really hope that you take time to enjoy yourself this month, like really be in enjoyment, be where you want to be, with who you want to be, have some vibes, have some times, and that's what I hope for you, Leo. Unless, you have other priorities, but in the season at this time, that is what I hope for you. And the first card out is the Death card. Because this might be a rebirth. This may be a rebirth for those of you. It's possible that you're coming out or through a time, as you know, a few years ago, Venus was in your sign and retrograded through it. Mars recently just went through your sign in Cancer, Cancer first, and finally ended that transit just a month ago, which seems like forever ago, right? And now Mercury is retrograding in your sign. So you may be going through a rebirth period, especially in terms of knowing what your energy levels and where those are at right now, and how, regardless of how level they've been for whatever time, that's now changing. This is a time where it's more than just confidence for you, Leo. This is where you're moving through, and it doesn't matter who you used to be. It doesn't matter who you used to be, how you used to operate. This is now how you say things. This is now how you do things. This fixed energy is locking into place. And this Mercury retrograde is helping and aiding the allowance of this new expression. It'll end on the 11th. So Sun, Moon, and Rising, if this is in your emotional and you're getting more secure in understanding your emotions and where certain things come from, where triggers come from, right? Where expectation comes from. Same thing for Sun, for your learning process, perhaps your even career for some of you. Similar to Rising, but yours is more about your energy, the way you feel about yourself, how you address yourself, how you show up. And then we have the Three of Pentacles, and it's like, how do you not only show up, but what are you saying? And more than ever, you may be being paid attention to. Like, in a way that this is you being seen, right? It's your season. So, and that brings me to, so people need you, or if if your assistance is needed, or if people need you from time to time, that's great. But the rebirth here is being very clear with your expression. For others of you, you may be collaborating with some people or moving forward. The rebirth is this moving forward in a way with work or your creativity or expression, where there's been like movement, but the rebirth, this change that's been initiated and now like a few years ago, and now, wrapping up in a way, or not just about action and communication, but in your thought process, right? Going all the way back to the thought process, to the nervous system, you're able to become very clear with where you're at. You're able to become very clear with what change means to you. Leo risings, Scorpio is in your 4th house. That's of emotional security, ancestry, foundations, caregivers, parents. For those of you, this is a rebirth of your intuition, because what you've been rebirthing, what you've been moving through has been, whether you've acknowledged it or not, it's been ancestral. your view of it is your view, and some people's is like literally the same shit, right? Same job or same kind of relationship. They repeat that, but you're seeing it's in the dynamic. And your intuition is becoming very strong. We have 2 3s here. That's all about communication. We have more cards. This is you becoming very clear with the kind of person you are and the way that you want to communicate. So as you're going through this change, you may have noticed at times there could have been confusion, and that confusion may have been based off of the way you've been communicating in your dynamics. Is there too much gossip, right? Or is this a time of collaboration, communication, and where you are starting to celebrate or having a moment of celebration and fruits? Or is it you having that moment and the people who may have thought they were going to like ride your coattails or come along with you, they're not as happy for you? And what you're learning, regardless of where you're at with these people, right? I'm not saying, cut them out of your life. What you're noticing is that perhaps in the past, you may have wanted them to feel happy for you, or you may have even felt like you couldn't share exciting news. What's come to my attention, what's really important right now, is regardless of how other people are feeling, the breaking of this cycle is you being excited for yourself. That through this time you've been repairing parts of your heart, and how you use it in your relationships, how you ask for support. And there's this divine energy, this very fortunate energy that comes from acknowledging that it's okay that you're celebrating. There's actually such a beautiful quote. Even though this is big for you and it's worth celebrating, you're celebrating your birthday, but some of you are celebrating something quietly and it deserves celebration. And if you feel like sharing it with people, I really do hope they listen. They might be in a different place in their life, but I really do hope they can show up for you. Because regardless, if you can show up for yourself, this fortuitous time is allowing you to break free from any mental constraint you thought you had to be. And this could have came from, how you were raised, what roles you took on, what applied to you. And now that's really breaking down, especially through your experience with money. I mean, the King of Swords highly clarifies transformation because that's what it represents with the butterfly. And it's possible that you're also, or for some of you, you're really allowing yourself space and connection to both speak and be heard and be listened to, and that allows it to transform. Regardless, it's how you use this fortunate energy, and maybe that's how you use it, maybe that's how you gain it. Either way, the fortunate energy is asking you to be open opportunities. If you're single, be open in your dating experience. Be open to change. Be open to knowing that the work that you've done with yourself internally, you probably had more, even if you've been outside and in the world and doing things, this has been a very internal year for a lot of you. If the Venus in Leo in the retrograde in 2023 didn't get you there, I'm sure this past year had in some way, shape, or form. And by that, I mean the ways that you don't feel, or you didn't feel strong enough or capable to ask for support, ways that you need support that you hadn't needed before, and that changed. And whether it was ego or just an awareness, unconscious behavior, you became aware of it. You've been made clear of it. Mars is now in Virgo in your second house. Leo risings, your self-worth, your skills, your healing. I believe whatever, job, career, regardless if you're living your purpose, you can find it in your present moment, even if it's not the thing. It's how you choose to be, or what you notice is missing. There's a way to find it, whether it's there or it's in the absence. Hope that makes sense. And it guides you forward. So at whatever layer you're at right now, this is a time where you're being guided forward in a way that you maybe missed, that you were used to at some point in some way, shape, or form, especially with opportunities, whether it be for love or career, either one. But there's healing being communicated. So if you're also leaving a place, or you're leaving a relationship, or you're moving on in some way or shape or form in your life, just know that will be the catalyst for this transformation, and in some time you'll even see that. I do think a lot of you it's for work. Jupiter is in your 12th house, opposing your house of work. I do think that in some ways it'll feel unlucky, but in the long run it will be a very lucky thing for you, a very expansive, many blessings unconsciously, because as much as you love to travel, you like to know you'll go back to the same places, especially if it's your kind of place, right? You like to try new places too, but you like to have a home base. You like that sense of security. And for some of you, there's a change in the way you perceive your foundations. It's different now. Even whether you had stability or not growing up, it impacted you perhaps the same way regardless, meaning there was some lack of stability, security. And you didn't realize that in some realm of your life, you've been operating in this way that's now being revealed to you, that it's no longer protecting you in the ways that you want to. It's now this piece of transformation because you've grown, because you've changed. So if you're wanting a raise, or you're wanting to communicate, use your communication skill in your skill sets, using all of that together. You're communicating your skill sets, or you're doing things to strengthen them, or you're noticing that whatever you're learning is really adding, and you're ready to receive more, or it's time to speak up for yourself, because you may have to. Whether this is career or dating, take it the same way. It's being very clear with who you are, and that doesn't leave anything up for discussion in this area. And this opportunity comes because of all, even if it's separate from all of the work that you've done, not the same place, not the same romantic partner, you're moving into the next phase with all of that, all of which you've learned, all of that which you've learned. And yes, there's vulnerability about it, but it feels like this level up in your bravery and your confidence. Mars will move into Libra at the end of the month. Where is it? Oh, actually at the beginning of the month, on the 6th. I wrote too many notes today. On the 6th. And voila, House of Communication. This may also, we have Aries at the bottom, so we'll take a look at the access in the second part, which will be in the links below. Patreon link for the second part, all information for my sessions, one-on-one sessions on my website, scheduling link, payment options, that's all there. I'm on TikTok and Patreon too. Also put out everything here on YouTube. So the clarity that you find and the peace of mind that even though there is loss, whether it's a loss of the way you used to operate and you now know that it's no longer can come with you, not that you want it to, and there's something triumphant about that, but there's also these opportunities coming your way because of all the hard work that you have put in, and it's not wasteful internal work. Not that you would disagree, but there's been just like a lot that had shown up for you. And it expanded in your life, and it expanded your community, your good fortune, maybe how you even use your good fortune, right? And now all the subconscious ways is showing up to reveal to you. That's Jupiter. So for love life, right? For love life right now, I can't tell you what to do, but there will be opportunities that come your way. People who seem very, fitting. And it'll be nice. But I would say take it slow, and around when Mars moves into Libra, dive into the topics. Especially if you start dating someone new around then, don't be afraid to go into topics where you talk about the future, the beauty, or even art, right? Have some fun with all of that. Let things flow. Don't resist any kind of conversation, I would say. And just notice up until Mars moves into Libra, especially in your dating and your work life, where you've been maybe settling or feeling not so authentic with your self-worth, with your value, and the skills that you provide. This is a heavy on communications month, but I don't say sacrifice your joy for it, your enjoyment for it. If you need to have conversations, have them, but leave them right there. Your integrity is a lot right now. How you show up, how you care for yourself too in the meantime, that's really important. That's going to help your energy levels a lot, and that's what Mercury is probably showing you. And for those of you who really do have to get some things off of your heart, because this death card is more than just this rebirth that you're going through. There's something, deeply changing within your life. You could have literally one of those radical shifts, and you really feel or your heart is just so open that you feel so expressive in a way that transforms you, and you didn't know that that's the way to show the support that you need. Especially now is maybe you don't know, you can't think specifically the support that you need, but through your expression and through these conversations, you come around to it with the perfect kind of person, or with your partner, or with, friendships or people close to you, and you're able to see oh, that's what's missing. That's the kind of support that I really need now. And it allows you to let go of any mental obstacles. And also, if you're literally going through that again, or that's coming up as a test or a recurring pattern, you have so much strength and fortune on your side. And I think there's so much else that needs your attention and needs your energy, that this just feels oh, this is happening again. It's fine. Opportunities arise, and it gives you opportunity to heal and also put down some weight that you've been carrying, on your shoulders that you didn't realize you were. And I think, sorry about that, that is what's most important this month, because it's perhaps linked to where it's been hard for you to be vulnerable, or where you felt maybe a fear of being vulnerable, or fear, doubt, whatever has been, shame, guilt, whatever, perhaps guilt because Mars is moving through Virgo. And Justice, Libra, this is in kidneys, it's the ancestry, but it's communicating this new version of love that you're able to express and then be supported, and then also learn the truth if people can actually, support you or not. But also allowing people to rise to the occasion, you got to give space for people to grow. Just like you needed space to understand that, oh, now I know where to shift, right? So the important thing to remember always is that, or to come back to if you can, is that when you do change, I think it's important to reflect on how long or whatever it is it's taken you to get there, because then you have more understanding for people who are then going through that change, because it's easy to learn something and want to just like share it and share it and share, and that's what Mars and Libra will come into your third house of communication. You may want to write. You may find that there's a project writing or some way of expression that needs an outlet that you don't necessarily always or want to express with others, or always want to be a topic of conversation with certain people or with friends. It's maybe something that you want to like deep dive on your own, and maybe even take a class, do a course, something maybe inspired, maybe it's traveling, whatever it may be. It may be about family. Just know that it's ready to come through. And it could be that you're communicating all of this with a Libra. Maybe a Scorpio, maybe a Libra. Could be an Aries involved. And yeah, there could be a risk being taken. Yes, we'll get into it all into the second part, Leo. I'm so excited to get into the rest of your reading. I'm wishing you a beautiful, what words do I want to use? Wishing you a beautiful birthday month. All links are below. You can find them there, description box, link in bio, wherever this is. Just kidding, it'll be on YouTube. And we'll see you next month. We'll check in on it all for you. Bye, Leo.